welcome to episode 21 of The Commit. I'm Richard.
And I'm Neal.
So, thanks to everyone who watched last week's episode with Swift from MLH. Got a lot of good feedback on that one, Neal.
Yeah, it was a great Hacksgiving episode, and if you didn't get a chance because you were full of stuffing, go check it out. We'll put a link in the show notes for you.
Awesome. So, this episode is going to be lean because we're losing weight after putting so much on with our families last weekend. So, Neal, what have you got? What's new?
Yeah, we got a new online hackathon. It's called the Eat Lunch UX Challenge from the USDA. And the goal here is to build a web-based form that's going to help families all across the country apply for free or reduced price school meals for their children.
Oh, cool. So this is slightly different because this is UX focused?
Yeah, so it's a little different than our normal hackathons. You are still building a functional form, but there's a lot of work we think that goes into sort of the UX design portion. We're going to help a lot of kids get more meals, do better in school because we're going to reduce form error. We're going to improve that experience for them.
So a real opportunity for people here to build something that has a super positive impact.
Yeah. There's $50,000 in prizes, and we definitely want to help you find a teammate. So we created a video wall where you can post a little video about yourself and tell us what you're working on and introduce your approach. Okay. And there's also a private Slack channel just for this hackathon.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So excited to see. And when is this open till?
It's open till the beginning of March of 2016. So you got a little bit of time, but as usual, you always want to get a jump start on this.
That's cool. So for this week's main feature, we're going to teach you something.
Yeah, we're going to learn you something.
Yeah, totally. So Neal's going to teach you how to make a digital business card. And along the way, we're going to use the Node Package Manager, or NPM, not to be confused with NPR.
All right, everybody, let's talk about creating a digital business card with Node and NPM. So this is actually a project that I forked from John K. Paul. I saw it blowing up on GitHub last week, and so I had to check it out. Basically, it allows you to distribute your contact information and print it out directly to the console with a really simple npm install command. So go ahead and try it out. Jump into your console and type in npm install nealrs. It's Neal with an A. As you can see, it just sort of dumps out my contact info. So you'll have my name, my website, my email, and then my Twitter, GitHub, LinkedIn, Devpost, and Medium handles, of course, all of which are the same. But you can keep extending this and add any other type of contact info you want so that it's very easy for someone to sort of find you online and find all your info. All they got to do is pop into their terminal, npm install, and they've got all the info. So how do you create one of these and how does it work? Well, there's three main things you need. First, you need to have Node and NPM installed, and you have to have a NPM account so you can actually publish your package back to NPM. And the second is once you clone the repo, there's two main files that you're going to want to edit. The first is the info.json file, and that actually just contains the basic information that we printed out to the console. So in my case, name, website, email, etc. So you'll just go ahead and edit that and save it. And then the second file is the package.json file, and this is the sort of critical component that NPM needs. It's sort of the manifest that NPM needs to create your package, publish it to its system, and then sort of make it easy to run all those NPM commands. So let's just run through the package.json really quickly. The first field name is the actual name of the package, so nealrs. The version, obviously 1.0. You can version this semantically however you want, but the initial version does have to be 1.0. There's a description field, which is just, again, just like the description you would give to your Git repos. There's a main field which defines sort of the entry point for the repo. So if you were running this, it would be index.js would be the entry point. This is actually kind of irrelevant for this example. You could actually omit that and it would be fine. In the script section, there's a post install script which is run as soon as you install the repo. So anytime you put in npm install nealrs, it runs the script right afterwards. In this case, it's just a shell command, cat info.json, and so that's again what just prints that JSON file right to the screen. Lastly, there's a couple things, keywords, if you want to sort of, this is like the SEO juice that you would add to your repo, so if you want keywords associated with it, it's a little easier to find on NPM that way. And then finally, a license field and an author field. So make sure that your repo is licensed and that they know who to attribute it to. So once you edit those two files, you can save it, commit it back to Git, and then once you have npm installed and you have your account set up, you can just hit npm publish space dot, and it'll push it all up to npm for you, so that the next time you meet someone at a party, you can be like, oh, I'd give you my business card, or you can just type in npm install whatever your name is. So it's a really cool project. It teaches you some of the basics of how to use node packages, how to create a node package, how to add a little bit of JSON, and I think it's a fun party trick, so I hope you enjoy it.
Okay, so for my staff pick this week, I'm picking In the Loop from HackWestern. And Neal, I really like this project because it looks at the trending topics on Twitter and then goes to Bing to get the top 30 news articles for each one that it repurposes and then displays nicely in its app.
But how do you know if they're worth reading?
Well, that's where the really cool stuff comes in. So it takes the text of these articles and then parses them and does a sentiment analysis. And there it is able to give you a spectrum of the political viewpoints involved and gives you an emoji to represent the overall sentiment of the article.
I think that's cool, right? Because you might not want to look at a graph, but if you see a crying emoji versus a happy, smiling emoji, that's probably enough for you.
Yeah, it's really cool. Great project. I suggest you check it out. What'd you pick?
Cool. So I picked Dynamo UI, which was also from HackWestern, and it's an Android library that allows you to modify the user interface of your app, text, colors, buttons, etc., without actually submitting a new app to the App Store and then having people download it. So it uses WebSockets, Angular, and Firebase to sort of give you a dashboard control panel where you can say, all right, cool, I want to change this button text, I want to change all of this stuff. It'll actually push it directly into the app because it uses that, because it's sort of powered by WebSockets. So
that's cool. So you can use this for A/B testing and looking at cohorts, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see if these hackers sort of continue developing it, but that could be a nice way of sort of shortening the chain of sort of getting experiment data back and sort of changing how we publish apps.
That's awesome. Well, that's all we got time for this week on The Commit. Happy hacking.
Happy hacking.